Today we are going to play Dishonored. Alright.
Corvo, if only there was someone else I trusted to send, so that you could remain near. But there is no one else. And the Spy Master was right to insist that I send you.
So very first thing, turn this down.
The plague has taken so many, and we must find a cure. When you are near, my heart is at peace. Emily and I will count the days until you return. Hurry home, and bring good news.
So this is probably one of the most botched introductions of all time. It does
Steady hand.
exactly what it needs to do to establish
We're away.
the plot, but it does
Take us
nothing
straight to
to
Dunwall
really
Tower,
make you
where
care
Corvo has news for the Empress, and we've come
about
a long way.
anything that's going on in this
A
story.
long way to bring bad news. The sailor.
I need to turn your voices down.
Say there's a curse on us. Black magic.
Superstition. For
That's
all
better.
we know, there's a cure for the plague by now.
Maybe. We live in strange times. Sending the Empress's bodyguard away for a couple of months. That's unusual.
Well, this was important. We need help with the rat plague.
Right, so there's a rat plague. And we'll get into that a lot later as the game progresses, but right now my character has gone on a mission to request aid from other nearby nations, and they have all denied us help. I really like. I don't think this actually would work in real life, but I like the design behind this technology, just for the water to rise like this. That's really interesting. I don't like this game's aesthetic. It's just this actual introduction is really fucking lame. It's really lame. I forget how to play this game because it's been so long.
Yes, yes. The pressure was too low.
Hello, sir.
Corvo, you're back.
Hey, it's my
Will
daughter.
you tell me about your trip, please? Were there any whales? Wait, let's
I
play hide and seek.
really
first.
didn't
I'll
do-
cover my eyes and you hide. You have time? Mother's busy talking to that nasty old spy master.
Okay, I guess we'll do the tutorial
Okay, here we go.
just to show it off for the stream.
While you were gone, Mother seemed very sad. I think she missed you.
Yeah, this tutorial, this whole
Follow
intro,
me, Corvo.
it's functional, but functional is about all it is.
Let's go. Come on. Let's see if you're still good at this. I'll hide my eyes and count, and at the end of the countdown, I'll try and find you. Okay, I'm going to count to 10. Find a place to hide.
Yep. So C for crouch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here I come.
They never look up.
I'll find you.
No, you won't.
About here.
Yep, that was a pretty easy hide and seek game. Alright. And
Welcome home, Lord Protector. Stop moving, Campbell. And you, Corvo, welcome back. From wherever you've been. They sent him all around the Isles to beg for aid. A waste of time. My elixir will banish the plague from this city. Now keep still a moment, High Overseer Campbell.
I'm not so sure that painting looks like Campbell.
so here's the fun thing. If you want,
What are you doing? I need the bottle to draw the eye away from Campbell. I suppose I can paint him without the cider. Though in truth, he is always close
hey,
to the
05.
stuff.
So I took that bottle of cider from the table, and even though the bottle of cider's already been painted on this picture, when we find it later, we will actually see that it is not in the painting because we took it and therefore we can't paint it. One of the things I actually like about this game is the attention to detail when it comes to those small things like that. Even though this intro as a whole kind of fails to really grab you, that's one of the cool things that it does.
She'll see you at once. Chances are very good.
So let's go
They're
hit
sick
here.
people, not criminals.
We've gone beyond that question, Your Majesty.
They're my citizens, and we will save them from the plague if we can.
If
All of
memory
them.
serves, a
Very
lot of
well.
big name
We will
voice
not
actors
speak
were
of
part of
this
this
again.
game. Or like not big name celebrities.
Mother, Corvo is back.
Thank you, Emily. Leave us, please.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
Like, that might be Susan Sarandon, but I could actually be wrong on that. She might be a different character.
Corvo. 2 days early. Full of surprises.
You
as
look
usual.
obviously evil. Okay.
It's a fair wind that brings you
Follow
home to me.
Captain.
What news have you
Should
brought?
leave them alone.
Alright. So, I said earlier, we were on a mission to get more aid from other nations to help the
I
city
hoped that
fight
one
the
of the
rat
other cities
plague,
had dealt with this before.
but no one else
I'm
wants to
so
help us.
Sure. This news is very bad. We're at the breaking point.
So we came here to
Cowards.
deliver the bad
They're going to
news.
blockade us. They'll wait to see if the plague turns the city into a graveyard.
Keep in mind, this is the introduction to the
Are you
game.
okay,
This is
Mother?
the very first
He's
time
out.
we've ever
Yes,
seen
don't worry,
any
darling.
of these characters.
Mother is fine. Wait, where are the
We have no
guards?
prior investment in
Who
them,
sent
and we
them
don't
away?
really know who
Mother,
they
look.
are.
What are they doing on the rooftop?
What? Emily, come here.
And now we're... Okay, whatever.
Emily, get behind me. Look out!
Oh, there you go. There you are. And so this is a supposed to lose fight.
Corvo, thank you. If you hadn't been here,
No more. Not again.
Mommy!
No! Get away from her. Corvo!
And the person we just met's now dead. And you're supposed to feel really bad about this.
Corvo,
And
coming apart.
I've played this game several times
Emily.
now, and even on my first
Protect her.
run,
You're the only one.
what this intro fails at is
You
it
know what to
really
do.
doesn't give you
Won't
enough
you?
time
Corvo.
to actually get to know these characters. They just kind of expect you to instantly
Ward us all. Look at what he's done.
kind of fall in love with
Yes,
them, and
he's killed
you
the
just
Empress.
don't. I don't blame them for that
What did you
because
do, young Lady Emily, traitor?
Her own bodyguard. Ironic.
I'll see you beheaded for this, Corvo. Peg him.
I don't blame them for that because they kind of want to get you right into the action, and that's for something like this. Like I can see why they want to do that, but at the end of the day, it would have been nice to have maybe like at least a half hour or maybe even like 15 minutes at least to get to know these characters. Because as it stands, all you really know is like she was a supposed a good ruler, I presume, because they use the stable comparison of a good ruler in that scene.
Sign the confession, and let me give you the rights to put
But then
your
she gets
spirit in.
killed in the first 5 minutes of the game, so you don't really have an attachment to her. And a lot of the games, especially the sequels, are built around a relationship
That's enough
between
for
your
now.
main characters
Get
and
out.
her. So
Let's give the man.
you just don't have that attachment. So they don't. It doesn't really. It never really feels like anything matters. Not really.
Corvo, the Empress is dead. Her daughter Emily is hidden away, and no one will ever know the truth.
Yes, unlucky you. Tomorrow you'll be executed, but it's for a good cause. This country needs strong leadership now, someone to guide the weak, and that's where we come in.
There was nothing personal in this, even though you almost sank our plans. But it turned out well. You were in the wrong place at the right time, and someone has to take the fall. Goodbye, Corvo. Guards! Take him back to the
So
cell.
one of your goals in the early game, especially, is to take revenge on the people who wronged you and framed you for your Empress's murder.
You should eat, Corvo. This meal comes from a
Such that the tagline of this game is, quote, "Revenge solves everything." But I never really felt, because you don't really feel attached to the characters in the game. You don't really ever feel like you're taking revenge. You just kind of feel like you're just kind of delivering karmic justice, which is in its own way pretty cool, but not really what they were going for.
How come so many people are coming to the execution tomorrow?
It's on account of Corvo, the one who killed the Empress and abducted her daughter, Emily.
So it's an occasion.
Right.
I'm going to try my best to play this game low chaos. I'm going to try not
As bad as us.
to
betting on
kill
dog
anybody,
fights.
or to kill as few people as I possibly can. But I am not going to reload the game over and over in order to get that result. If it happens, great. If not, we'll have to live with it.
Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance with 1 week's notice.
I'm mostly just going to go with the flow and try to not kill, but if it happens, it happens. Yeah, you got a point there, because really, even though he's the main character, all of the choices that Corvo ever makes are done through play. In terms of the story, he goes through the same motions almost regardless of what the player does. His only choices are whether or not to kill or not to kill. Because you're always taking out the same individuals, whether you're doing lethally or non-lethally. And you're always kind of going through the same missions either way. So, like, Corvo doesn't really have agency. You're right, he doesn't. But the player does. The player may not choose what mission they're taking, but they have choices in how they take those missions, or what they do during those missions. Even if the actual overall flow is the same. And this game does explore the kind of idea between peasantry and nobility. Not like noble as in like a noble person, but noble as in someone who is of the noble class. I'll probably get into that later, especially with the Pendletons, because they are a really good example of what this game thinks of the bourgeoisie, as it were. Probably more true in this game than other games, because there's a distinct upper and lower class in this game, and you can tell which is which just from their visuals. This is the chamber that we were just interrogated in. What am I looking for? Oh, right, this is the objective, is to come into this safe. And I'm playing with the objective markers off because I've played this game long enough that I know generally what I'm supposed to do. or at least my body remembers, if not my mind, because I've gone through these motions 50 billion times. This is probably my fifth or sixth playthrough of this game. I've done this a lot. And what I'm mostly doing this for, in terms of streaming, is I want to try to get used to playing games like this without constantly reloading saves to get the ideal outcome, because I do tend to do that when I play these kinds of games.
Will be restricted to the personnel assigned to
I was gonna report that boiler leak from yesterday. Forget it. Just do your rounds. The report's trouble for both of us. I'm moving.
Alright. You're going that way. Oh, okay. Never mind. That sucks. That sucks. Okay. That sucks. That's fine. It's dealt with. Stealthy. Absolute silence. Okay.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort to the solitary wing.
Yeah, if I was playing this myself, I would have probably reloaded there and tried again. But I'm trying to get out of that habit. I'm trying to play immersive sims like they are, like Sims. Instead of trying to get the ideal outcome, just going with the flow and seeing what happens. And that's most why I'm playing this on stream, because doing it on stream kind of forces you into that road. Where if I was playing for myself, I would fall back into old habits. And okay, we're good. So okay, no, we're gonna crouch. And sleep time. Naps for you. Okay, never mind. I guess you want to die. Yeah. This is a completely bloodless, non-lethal run of the game. And I will, and if anyone denies it, I will tell them to go fuck themselves. Because I was completely silent, completely stealthy, and no person got killed. Not a single person got killed. And if I had kept that door open, there would have been guards coming in, but because the door was closed, they actually have to open the door first before they can find me, which gives me enough time just to run before they even see me coming. So if I had ghosted that whole section, then that's the best way to get ghosted, to close the door behind you so that the guards can't actually see you on your way out. I just wonder how far I'm going to get in this game, because this game, when you play through it just kind of improvising, does not take very long. You can beat it in about 3 or 4 hours. So I might actually get a good way through the game before I actually stop streaming. This is a good way to teach the players too how rats work, because you have to be up here so that rats can't touch you. Which also gives you a really good view of the rats chewing the fuck out of a couple of no-name guards. So that's a pretty good way of just telling the player, oh, rats will kill you, don't go near them. Without forcing them to go through that problem themselves. By watching a series of guards go through that problem instead. Also, rats love corpses. So giving the rats a corpse to eat will distract them from you. Which is another arcane tactic to know, and a good way to teach the player that early on in the game. Oh, here's a couple of people who died from the disease. Oh, shit, he's a potion I didn't want to. Alright, and here's... should be a safe nearby. And that might be actually a little later than this. Of course, it's blocking the wheel. I actually love the way, the emergent way a lot of obstacles are set up in this game. You can do a lot, like, I also chose this game to stream because you can do a lot of weird shit, especially once the powers start coming into play. A lot of really cool shit can be done, tech-wise. And I'm not a speedrunner, so I'm not going to be particularly efficient at it, but I think it's really cool the way you can solve this game, or solve this game's problems in tons of different and varied ways. So, the valve is over there, and so are the rats. So, learning from lessons from before, I'm going to throw the body. Or not. There's another body, that'll do. Oh. And both those bodies should give me more than enough time to crank this wheel. And to book it before the rats show up. And that barrier will stop the rats from coming through. Doesn't look like it should, but it will.
Attention Dunwall citizens. The assassin Corvo, responsible for the murder of our fair empress and the disappearance of Lady Emily, heir to the throne, has temporarily escaped state custody.
Let's get some more money. Money is always a good thing to have.
Must be delivered to the City Watch at once.
And climb up to the next floor. No one will keep us from death. Yes, very morbid, these people. So, rather than fall for that trap, we're just going to disarm it. And take the goodies here. See? Or you can disarm a tripwire if you see it. It's another way of doing it. But honestly, it's better just to walk around the traps if you can. This is definitely a game where movement is a very important thing to understand and master. I consider getting my controller since I don't really play this game on PC very often, but I just want to have the precision of the keyboard and mouse. Oh, yep. See, if I were just running, I would have fallen into that. Or I could have... Did I get hit? Oh, I must have gotten scratched. That's fine. That's really fine. Let's see if I can get up there and actually see if that trap was triggered. How's everyone doing today, by the way? I think it's just 05 right now, but... Oh. I was just armed. So what hurt me? Huh. That's weird. Okay. And this will give us our tools, including our crossbow. And Corvo's signature weapon, the retractable blade. Now we're all set. And they have the key for the door here, so you have to open this chest, otherwise you can't proceed. Oh, trigger. Okay. No, I'd have to jump over it. Or go around. So I don't actually know how you're supposed to figure this out without knowing the key. But as is tradition with these immersive sim games, the first code of any unlockable is always 451. Because it's A, reference to Fahrenheit 451, and B, it was the door code for the Ion Studios security door. So they actually made that their code for most of their games, like their signature.
Don't try to take them out alone.
But what if no one from the squad is around?
You try to make a lot of noise when you're done. Knock something over if you can.
Bastard.
What I miss, because I played Dishonored 2 a lot more than this, is in Dishonored 2 you can actually do a drop KO, which you can't do in this game. You can only do a drop assassination. So you do have to always sneak up behind someone before you knock them out, which is kind of irritating. I kind of miss that feature from Dishonored 2, but it came afterwards. Of course, they would refine it. Let's see.
Stay alert, you worms.
Yeah,
Not
the sleep
getting out this
toxin.
way on my watch.
Yeah, use my sleep toxin. Now we're gonna go up here and get behind some of the other guards by just going above them, because as in real life, enemies in video games do not look up. I don't remember if there was a third guard here or not. I'm pretty sure there was. There you are. Well, that sucks. Okay. Wonder if I'll end up getting high chaos because of all the murder I've been doing. Shouldn't, but you never know. Because the chaos factors are pretty high tolerance. You can kill a lot of people before the game actually calls you high chaos. I think it's like 20% of all the people in the game you would need to kill to unlock the high chaos ending.
Over here. I'm Samuel, and I work for some good people who want very much to meet you.
And that's the first
They
mission
said
out of the
you'd
way.
come out here, but I can still hardly believe it. I'll take you to meet them. Just down the river from here.
Alright, let's go. Alright, still low chaos. We killed 6 people. Yeah, that's pretty good for our first level. Let's hope that trend continues. God, this game feels weirdly low resolution. I forgot how old this is. This is PS3 generation. If you have any questions about this game too, feel free to ask in the chat. I'll answer as best I can, because I have played this game about 5 or 6 times now.
We're right under the Lord Regent's nose, and he don't know a thing.
Yeah, I mean that's clever, boy, but
Of course, if anyone finds out what we're up to, the Watch will break in with swords drawn. And now that you've escaped, the Lord Regent's going to be tearing the city apart.
this story has a lot of telling, but not showing.
Take you up to meet Admiral Hathaway.
I would love it, because this game is so rich with world building. If they did a lot better job of actually showing you the story more than telling you, like demonstrating through action and not words what people are thinking and doing. It's and this is not the only game that does this. A lot of games have that problem overall of telling and not showing. But since they do such a good job at building a world in this game, it feels like a missed opportunity.
Even after 6 months in Cold Ridge Prison, he slipped out like it was nothing.
Yes. Not surprising. He was the personal... We can
Whatever.
continue this
Shut up.
later, Lord Pendleton. The man of the hour is here. Corvo, I'm Admiral Havelock. A true servant of the Empire, like you. Until the Lord Regent purged those of us who wouldn't recognize his claim on the throne.
And I'm Lord Trevor Pendleton. I represent the nobility in our little group. But we all act as equals here at the Hound Pits pub.
Sure.
This is a momentous occasion, Corvo.
They don't act like he was in
We're
the
going to come
Houndpits
out.
pub.
We've been building a coalition of loyalists.
He's a rich
aimed
bastard.
at ending the Lord Regent's tyranny and restoring the throne.
At risk of execution, we're committed to finding young Lady Emily and seeing her crowned as Empress.
Let me tell you the
We've got
plot.
big plans, but we can't do any of it without you. We need your skills, your ability in a fight, and in helping us, we're going to help you destroy the men who murdered the Empress.
Sorry, you must be exhausted. We can discuss this further after you've recovered. But before you retire, you should introduce yourself to Piero. He's challenging at times, but his industrious mind buys him that right.
Yes, Piero's as much an artist as a technician. He's going to be crafting the gear you'll need. Go talk to him, and then get some sleep. We can talk more when you've
It's also a problem that every single actor in this game appears to be phoning it in. And I have a rule where if it's just one or two characters phoning in their performance, it's probably the actor's fault. But if it's everyone, as it is in this game, it's probably more the fault of the voice director than it is the actual cast.
I will create the tools of a master assassin. No! This cannot happen now. The tank of whale oil is running out.
That is such a weird delivery on that line.
Upstairs, please, while
I've played this game 5 times and I never get tired. I never get...
When it explodes, there is a terrible mess.
Delivery really sucks. No! This cannot happen. The whale oil has run out. Please fetch me a new bottle of whale oil for my machine that takes the whale oil.
Here, see? The assassin's mask. You're a wanted man, so everyone in the city knows your face. But this mask will mean terror to them. If you just hold still, the fit must be precise. There. Can you see normally? Send the lens out of the alignment. There.
I don't care
Now,
how good those
I could
lenses
create
are. You
more
should never be able to see normally.
upgrades for your gear, weapons, munitions.
There are 2 endings of this game. There's the good ending where you've killed 20% or fewer people, and the bad ending where you've killed more than that. It's not no kill, it's low kill. That's why I'm not too broken up about not killing anybody, because the tolerance for this game has towards you killing people is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty severe. Let's see. Let's buy upgrades actually instead of just sleep darts, because I have more than I will need. I have about as much as I'll need for now. Bone charm capacity is going to be a big deal later, so I'm going to actually invest in that. Crossbow accuracy doesn't really matter that much. I will want this combat sleep dart later, but that's something I really need urgently.
You must be exhausted. I advise that you get some sleep. Your life will
But
get
it's the
even
actual,
more
there's a
difficult.
threshold
You
from
should rest while you can.
what they call low chaos, which is you have done right by the people, and bad chaos, which is you are a bastard, and that isn't dependent entirely upon your murder rate. So if you don't murder if you don't murder too many people, the game will give you the good ending by default. That's what this game calls chaos, which is the amount of mayhem you have caused in the world through your murder. And it is strictly murder. Nothing else matters.
Hello, Corvo. Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the void. I am the outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world, great forces that men call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will. Use
It's
this
one of my
without
favorite
power.
games of all time, but I will
My
never
gift
get
to
over how
you.
boring the performances in this game are.
Come find me.
But now we get to the fun part where you start getting the powers. The very first power is Blink, which allows you to teleport, and it's probably one of the most useful powers you'll ever get. The other powers are good, but really there are a few things that can beat just raw teleporting. As you can see, my mana bar, if I don't use it, my mana will restore a little bit. But since I'm going to get... This is a tutorial level, and my mana doesn't really matter. I'm just going to kind of spam it. Also, you see that arrow there? That means when I launch that location, I'm going to actually do a chin-up to get up to the top of the ledge, like this. So you can do some mild platforming with Blink as well. I could have jumped that, but it's just safer to teleport.
In the days that follow, your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
So the heart is another one of those things you'll probably want to always have available because, as you can see, it gives me an objective marker as to where the rune is, and the ending tutorial is just finding that rune. And if I squeeze it,
This place is the end of all things, and the beginning.
you get a tidbit. And if I have it point at a character when I'm doing that, it'll tell me a bit about that character. So...
All of time's meanings here. Neither seconds, nor centuries.
And if you'll notice, the voice from the heart sounds a lot like the Empress from the beginning of the game. And it is canon that the Empress is the one speaking. That is her soul trapped within the heart. Remember how... Okay. I remember how to get down. I have to get down. Which means I have to go down here. Right. And that rune... runes in this game are how you upgrade your powers. So I'll try to collect as many as I can. Like, I don't really need any of these right now. My first goal will probably be to get, a level 2 Blink and level 2 Agility for the most platforming ability. I don't really need Dark Vision, I don't really need Agility, or I don't really need any of the other skills at this moment. And you see each power has level 1, level 2. You get Blink level 1 just from the start, but each upgrade has a cost for runes, and all I can really afford is level 1 Dark Vision and level 1 Agility, and I don't really want either of them, so I'm going to back out of this menu.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before.
There's actually a run in this
Now
game
I
called
return
Mostly
to your
Flesh
will.
and Steel,
But know that I will be watching,
where you can get through the entire game with just level 1 Blink and no other powers. It is a perfectly viable run. You do not have to use powers if you don't want to. That is completely up to you as the player. Because I find them really fun to use, I will not be ignoring the powers. I'll be using them a lot. And All of these are pre-order items. So they have the Champion Edition, or the Game of the Year, whatever they called the edition of this game. I have all the pre-order items by default. It gives you a little bit of information about one of the characters, a couple of bone charms, and we'll look at those in a second. Some money to get you started, and these artifacts which give you extra bone charm slots. Once I collect them all, I'll explain a bit more about those. Should be 4. Yes. Okay, that's 4. So I'm going to go into the pause, the bone charm menu here, and you'll see. I started with 4. I started with 3 slots. I bought a 4th slot, and each of one of those statues gave me an extra another slot. So I have a total of 8 slots for bone charms, and these all provide passive buffs. So I'm gonna equip a couple of these just to kind of get started. This one for mana. No, we're gonna use Void Channel. Better Feast. Moderate Peak. Good Lungs will be nice. More often with arrows or bolts, sure. I'm not gonna need that. I'm not gonna need that. Sure. Spells explode with greater intensity. I don't really need that either. Yeah, we'll get Limb Speed boost. There will be a couple of charms I'll be looking for throughout the game. This is a good way to get started. These are some good powers I can get started with. And if I equip the heart, you'll see there's another ruin, or another rune over here. Now, I do have a mission I can start, but I'm going to actually try to get this rune before I do. And because of the Void Channel ability that gives me a passive boost to all my powers, the blink will actually go a little farther than it normally would. So I'm going over here. And there's a ruin over yonder, so I'm going to go over there. I'm sorry, a rune. I still, through all these years of seeing the word, always pronounce rune like ruin. Let's see if I can actually afford. I'm going to actually buy agility level 1, which will increase my jump height and decrease my fall damage. And that's going to be useful for a couple of platforming sections later on in the game. There's also piranha in the water, which is why I don't want to be in the water for very long. And teleporting helps with that a little bit. Oh, come on. Don't be that way, game. Don't be that way. That's fine. Yeah, agility 1 effectively gives me a double jump, which makes it a lot easier to nail landings. They explain it by just, like, you magically get a second jump in the air. There's literally magic in this game, so who cares how you explain it. And I want to pick up this for some money. I think I saw... No, that's just a book. That's fine. And is Piero here? There you go.
Havelock stopped in earlier, but I forgot what he wanted.
Okay, we're gonna be
He's
that way.
waiting to see you, I believe. What can I do for you?
There we go. With the seed money the game gave me as part of the pre-order bonus, I'm gonna buy the combat sleep toxin. I'm gonna buy a bone charm expansion, and I'm gonna buy a rune, which that'll be enough to get me started in the game. It doesn't really matter a whole lot, but it is some extra coin that, you know, never hurts. So Havelock wanted to see me.
Well, let's get down to it. First off, I know that assassination is dark business, but sometimes good men have to do bad things.
I love that Corvo just becomes an
Our purpose
assassin
is
without
clear.
anyone ever actually
We want to
saying that he's
restore
cool
Her
with it. It just
Majesty's
kind of
line
happens.
by finding and putting Emily Cauldron on the throne.
Like,
To
oh,
those ends,
hey, welcome out of prison. You're an
Shadow.
assassin now.
Take them up.
And then you just go,
Piece by piece.
Sure.
Tonight, High Overseer Campbell dies by your hand. It won't be easy. He's protected by his overseers, an army of religious zealots. But if anyone can do it,
From what I remember hearing,
your exploits are legendary. Campbell carries a private journal. Once you've eliminated him, get the journal, because we think it contains Emily's location. Recovering her is obviously critical, assuming she's alive. That's the gist of it. Remember our cause and strike true. We're counting on you.
if memory serves, they actually
Campbell
did
is holding
realize
former overseer
very
by
late
name
in the
Martin,
development of this
one of us.
game
And if you manage to
that it
find
just
him,
makes
give him
no fucking sense for Corvo to be voiceless.
If you've a moment.
But by that time, they realized that it was far too late to get a
There's
voice
something I need
actor
to
for
say.
him.
Corvo. Hello. I'm Callista. I work here for Admiral Havelock. I'm sorry to intrude on your business, but this is important. I suspect you're going to kill the High Overseer. That wretched man. There's really no reason for you to listen to me. But my uncle, Jeff Kernow, still serves as captain in the City Watch. But he's a good man, and my only family. The chatter in servant circles is that Campbell just took delivery of an exotic poison. And I think I know why. My uncle's not corruptible like the rest of them. Campbell is going to poison my uncle. Do you think you could protect him? You used to do that, right? Before you had your current profession. Before you became an assassin.
It's really weird that she says before you became an assassin, because technically speaking, we have yet to actually go out and assassinate somebody. So we're not an assassin yet. Not really. And you can go through this whole game without actually killing a single person. You can assassinate your targets non-lethally, and I'll explain how that works in a bit.
Ready to go? Just give
We
the
might even
signal.
go for a couple of non-lethal options if we're able to. I'm not really particularly worried if we do or don't. But you can go through this entire game without killing a single person. So it's weird for her to go before you became an assassin when technically you haven't assassinated someone yet, and technically you don't even really have to.
It'll be a rough trip. Used to be to go straight up Clavering Boulevard, but now it's not so easy. Half the city's dead of the plague. The other half's fighting over what's left.
It's just odd.
City Watch still holds the bigger streets, and they've set up those wall of light checkpoints. A man walks through one of those, and he ends up burned to a crisp. Everything not controlled by the City Watch is gang territory. Then there are the real odd birds living on the fringes, like that Granny Rags. They say she's nuts.
I think I'm actually gonna try for the non-lethal option here, just to see if I can,
Just
without
take your pick.
If I was playing for real, I would have a rule where if I killed even a single guard, I wouldn't go for the non-lethal option because it makes no sense to spare a guard to kill a guard but spare the actual target. But since we're playing for a stream, I might as well just try the non-lethal option, see if I can do it. Do it live. So we have
What is it? I think that last one was
3 objectives.
What? Yeah, the little one. Not possible. I inspected them myself. Keep working.
Our first objective is to take care of Overseer Campbell, who is the head of the religious faction in Dunwall, the Overseers.
Attention Dunwall citizens. Following direct
We have a second objective, to take his journal.
you are required to remain in isolation for 2 continuous
And a third objective that's optional is to take care of, is to save Callista's uncle Kernow. Well, that didn't go well. This is not an Iron Man run, so I'm not really particularly perplexed, but I forgot that when you play this game on hard, you actually do take a lot of damage from the guards.
Nearly midnight. But easy, damn it.
Keep him in the boat. Canal's got enough shit in it as it is.
I know you.
I fucked that up. How do you use a health potion again? R. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That could have gone a lot worse.
Liable to search or imprisonment at the discretion of the city watch.
That should be those three up there, so I can just get that bone charm now. I might actually have to go around. Just to tell you, give you an example of how you can do platforming in this game. Okay, strong arms. That's the only one I ever actually wanted. Strong arms is a perk or a bone charm that lets you choke people out faster. And it's basically it makes a non-lethal run of this game a lot smoother. So already right off the bat I had the bone charm that I actually wanted to get. That's pretty incredible. I'll go for any more if I see them, but we might actually be done with bone charms the rest of the game. I actually have no desire to get anything else aside from strong arms. Like that was the big one. Okay, I need you to actually function, Corvo. Please, what do you want?
Attention Dunwall citizens. This is a special announcement from our Honorable Lord Regent.
Let's go for a couple of runes. Since no, that might be Susan Sarandon, Granny Rags. We're not gonna do any of her side quests because they give you ruins, but they're pretty evil. So I'm gonna pretend I didn't see her and just go on with my day. And these are outsider shrines. They give you a ruin, and then they make you talk to the outsider, and he is boring.
You wouldn't recognize. You're on your way to face the.
He basically tells you if you've done your objective, he'll pontificate about how you did it, and if you haven't, he'll just tell you, he'll pontificate about what you might do.
I told you the knives go on the left.
So I've heard his spiel often enough that I don't ever want to hear it again. There's a rune and a bone charm. Let's go. Well, let's go for the bone charm. You might as well. It's right here. Okay, I need to get closer.
Sure? Because you know we have to check you over. And there's an inspection. Avoid with Bottle Street is an avoid with you. Oh, you don't want to talk to us like that. Fact is, Bottle Street is here to take its cut. Reach into your pocket.
Let's get this done.
Yeah, and the inspection fee. We can't help it. Just the way we do things on Bottle Street.
Okay.
Damn it. Somebody. I'm gonna...
Perfectly non-lethal. Perfectly non-lethal. Yeah, the auto management in this game is not great.
I owe you, brother. I want to ask about the mask. I wouldn't want my face seen either, pulling a stunt like that. You know what? I'll return the favor. Come by Griff's shop. That's my business. Well, it was at one time, but now I'm reduced to scavenging thing. Want to look at some of the things I found? Good prices, I swear.
Oh, everything like his items are overpriced, but I'm gonna get the blueprints. so that I can get some items from Piero later. Yeah, you got a point, 05. This game's interface could use some work. I've only really gotten the hang of it because I've used it for so long. But it's not particularly user-friendly. What does tough skin do? Max all is increased slightly. Yeah, sure, we'll go for it. We'll accept it. That said, you can do a lot of really cool things with the powers in this game. I've done a couple of really good challenge runs. Oh fuck! I used another elixir on accident. It's gonna happen a lot. Probably. Let's see where that last room is. Over there. The second Dishonored actually improved a lot in the control scheme, at least on console. I haven't actually played Dishonored 2 on PC. I played Mark of Death the Outsider on PC, but not Dishonored 2 raw, and I found that was a lot less fiddly. What is the quick select button? I will figure that out later when I'm not on a stream. Now, there's a wall of light over there, and if I pass through that, I will die instantly. So there are a couple ways you can do it. You can remove the whale oil tank to shut it off. You can reverse engineer it to only kill enemies instead of you. Or if you're ass like me, you can just blink over the building.
Well, is it on? What's it look
In theory.
Slow off, Haber.
Yeah, you can just blink over the building if you have the void channel for the extra blink, and just literally walk on the other side of the building without actually facing the wall of light.
How old did you say your sister was?
There's a rune right there, and I'm gonna go for it. I don't really care about the professor's note. And go right back into hiding. My objective is the door past these guards. I'm probably not gonna fight these guards. It's not really worth doing so. I lied. I'm gonna actually knock you out. Now, you saw the difference. Like, that's because I have strong arms. That's why choking him out took only a couple seconds. And now I can just walk past them. So here's Martin, rescuing him with my objectives.
Hello. I hear the
We're gonna have
seventh days
four
when the skin really
technically.
starts to come all the way off. Is that true? Or is it the itching that...
What a sight you are in that mask. I know who you are and what...
Reason? And he'll give us a
Feels good to
briefing
stand
on the
up
actual
straight.
objective we're here for.
Thank you, Corvo. What you're here to do tonight is of the highest importance. We've got to find Emily, so kill Campbell and make it quick. Once it's done, search his body for the journal, his notorious black book, and get out of there. Campbell is meeting with a guard named Kernow, and word from my informant is that Campbell is going to poison him. Maybe you can use that to your advantage. All right, I won't be of any help here, so I'll make my own way back to the Hound Pits pub. If I see Samuel the boatman, I'll tell him to pick you up in the backyard, behind the office of the High Overseer. May the spirits guide you, may our enemies head toward it.
I was just reading in the archive about the heretic's brand. It sounds painful. Have you ever seen the ritual?
I've never seen the heretic's brand used.
So yeah, that's
No.
the briefing on the Heretics brand, which we might
But I
end
did
up
spy the
using
face
as
of
our non-lethal takedown option.
Out on a retreat.
As I said before, you can beat this game without killing anybody, and that includes your targets.
Who can say?
However, because they're still in positions of power, you can't just leave them. You do have to deal with them in some way, and to do that, they give you a couple, like, give you at least one non-lethal option for each of the big targets. There are runes. I'm actually heading there into the office. I am going to quick save. And this is where you start to get into the whole choice-based nature of this game, is in through the various options you deal with the targets and the people around those targets. And I'm going to show you an example in just a couple seconds of what I mean by that. So I snuck up to where he's going to meet Kernow. And I see here that there are glasses. Now, Campbell's glass is not poisoned. And the glass he has for the guard that's with him is poisoned. So you can switch the glass if you want to poison him with his own poison. Or you can poison both of them, which you really have no reason to, even if you're playing a high chaos run. Or you can do what I'm about to do and spill the glass. I'm gonna get this rune and teleport up top.
She'll be found. My men are searching district by district.
The poor girl.
Callista's a resourceful one. Probably found a safe place to hole up in all this chaos.
If my overseers hear any word, I'll come straight to you. Time for drinks. I hope you won't.
Yeah, I can see where you come from with that, 05, but this is very similar to Deus Ex, actually, in that you do have the main mission, and you have a bunch of side content in that mission that you can do or choose not to do. Like, Deus Ex is very similar, actually, in that regard. Oh, you mean, are you also referring to the more modern Deus Ex games, which, in that case, you have a point, because in the old Deus Ex, this is basically just like the old Deus Ex games, and this is like the old Thief games, for better and for worse.
I don't understand how this got so unpleasant.
Oh, I agree.
Fair.
Agree.
In that case, fair. Yeah, I understand.
Will you have wine? It's a Tivian red.
Thank you.
So they would drink if I didn't spill the glasses?
Who's been in here? I owe you an apology, Captain. This is hardly
Yeah, I figured. Once I said Deus Ex, I knew what you're referring to.
Well, time to do this the hard way.
What was that, Campbell?
Never mind. It's a stroke of luck for you, Captain. I'm forced to break out the real vintage. Leave the men here. But we'll have to share with all of them.
Very well.
So he's
Campbell.
going to lead
as long as we get this little dispute settled.
Kernow to his private chamber. And I'm just going to follow him by keeping my high ground. As much as I can. And this is compatible with the low chaos version of this, so I'm probably going to just be fine. Oh, there's another guard. I have to book it. Alright. Strong arms. Phew. That could have gone worse. I'm gonna get my sleep toxin ready. So this is the High Overseer's private chamber. And so he's going to lead our poor officer here into the chamber to just straight up murder him. Because he failed to poison me because I spilled the wine glasses.
You see this painting? Believed to be early Sokolov. Something primal in there. The way the brushwork slashes.
You have my thanks. Though by all rights, I should probably arrest you. You seem familiar, even with that mask on. No matter. This once I'll just go my own way, and you yours.
Now, thankfully, because I waited till after Campbell drew the sword, he didn't arrest me. If I had attacked him before that, then the guard would have tried to attack me, because he wouldn't have known otherwise that Campbell was trying to kill him. Now that when he gets caught in the act and I knock him out that way, then the guard I was trying to save just otherwise ignores me. I didn't really give you a chance to see it, but that was Sokolov painting I was talking about earlier. The one where if I had left the wine glass on the table, it would be in the scene. And so it's important that I get this unconscious body, because we are going to go for the non-lethal option. You probably heard earlier about the Heretics brand. It's important that you have, because that is going to be a very important clue. Now, in the Overseer's guidebooks, when you are given the Heretics brand, you are excommunicated from the cult completely. Well, I was trying not to kill you, but oh well, that sucks. Oh, hey, he got out. Good for him.
I know you're here somewhere, scum. Oh, I'll find you.
I just gotta remember where the actual location I'm looking for is. No, it's not that way. I think it is. Oh, that rafter is shut. That's a problem. No matter. Is he gonna come? Okay, he's not gonna come this way. That's fine. You get choked. Oh, fuck off. There we go. That could have been worse. Yeah, I think it's on the other side down here. Oh no, it must be. It has to be up here. This is like this isn't a very big building. Huh.
I'll write to her again. She has to see it.
Okay. Shit. Yeah, okay. Follow the high road. Right here. Yeah, this is it. This is where I'm looking for.
Caught in the lockdown last night. 6 hours.
Search the place top
Back to the beginning.
It was Martin's plot to break him out of Coldridge Prison. That's what we know. But why? The one man.
All right. Yeah, this is the room. So we're going to place Campbell in this chair. And now all I need to do is find the Heretics brand item and mark him with it. And doing so will prevent him from ever being invited back into the Overseer's fold ever again. Effectively removing him from his seat of power. Oh, here it is, the Heretics brand, just what I was looking for. So, although I didn't kill him, this is the way to non-lethally remove him from power. And so now that objective is complete. In other words, I have saved, I've saved Kurnow. I've dealt with the High Overseer, and I have his notebook. So I have, and so I've. All I have to do now is just get out.
Huh?
You shouldn't have seen me. Yeah, after I got my, like, no kills run of this game, what I started to do is just let him poison himself. My favorite way of doing this mission is just to switch the wine glasses. But it's totally viable to do this. This is a pretty good way of good way of dealing karmic justice out.
Corvo killed the Empress.
But it's so much easier to switch the poison out if you're trying to get this this run done quickly. Kurnow will never know you saved him, but it's really fun to kill Campbell with his own poison. No, I think no, this isn't the way of the exit. No, this isn't the way. Let me go up, because there's a map on the top of the stairs. I'm just gonna read that map. The map over here. Okay. To backyard. Okay, yeah. Okay, it is down there. I know where I'm going now. Because the backyard is where Samuel is waiting for us in the other end of the map. See, now that I have the chance, I'm gonna see if I can buy some more upgrades. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a level 2 Blink. And I'm 1 away from level 2 agility, which is really all I need in terms of, like, definite for my build. The rest will be just gravy on top of that. It's the weird thing where, if I actually go back to this menu, a lot of these powers are geared towards a lethal run, like particularly Devouring Swarm and Wind Blast. Those have also here Shadow Kill and Bloodthirsty. These only matter if you're going for lethal. And since the vast majority of players don't go for lethal, they go for non-lethal options if they can. It seems like you effectively don't have use of 4 of the game's powers. 4 out of the 10 of them. Because if you're trying not to kill people, you have no reason to invest points in things that will kill them. It's always been a weird thing with this, and Dishonored 2, especially with Emily's powers, did a lot better job at balancing the lethality and non-lethality of the choices you have. Do I go for that? It's right there. I might as well. The exit is right by the hook over there, but I'm gonna actually go for the ruin over in this area. I might as well. I'm not gonna go for the bone charm. It's not worth my time. Because I already have all the ones I actually truly want. But I'm gonna go for this rune. I think we'll have time for one more mission after this. Yeah, the level 2 blink is really handy. That distance is hard to beat. So we're going to climb the chain downwards, and there's Samuel over there waiting to take us out of this mission. Blink also saves time.
Samuel. From the way I hear it, Campbell lived a pretty posh life. Maybe it's not my place to say, but men of the faith shouldn't live like barons. You ready to go?
I mean, welcome to the Catholic Church.
Okay, let's go.
But sure, let's go. Yeah, still okay. I also even like killed a good amount of people. I didn't kill enough to really trigger the threshold. All right, not a bad mission. Yeah, I can see how he reminds you of the cab driver from Bloodlines. Arcane, or at least Harvey Smith, who was the head designer for this game, has kind of stated outright that he is more or less your moral fiber. Like, he is kind of the character who's supposed to tell the player what is the right way to do, what the right, like, moral thing to do in the situation. Or like he's supposed to be the voice of the common people in the big group of conspirators.
He's alive. Thank you, Corvo, thank you. My uncle's a good man, and one day he'll prove it. Here. I know you did this for the right reasons, but I want you to take this as a reward. It's an old heirloom one of my aunts gave me.
Yeah, the cabbie in Bloodlines is similar, but not really the same. Yeah, also he is implied to be the first vampire.
Can I be of service to you?
But the thing that's kind of weird is that they talk in press interviews about not judging the player for what they do. But then they talk about how Samuel's supposed to be the moral compass, and he heavily judges you for what you do, which you should. But it's just weird that they're trying to have it both ways in this, and I don't really like the way they kind of half-ass the morality in this game. Yeah, this was a time when binary moral choices were still a thing, but even then people were like, this is kind of a dumb system, makes no sense. Like, Camster in particular made a pretty good video about it. I wrote an article at the time about how I dislike the way they handle morality in this game. And Acer Keys wrote actually a pretty good article about the way they handle women in this game, and we'll probably get into that later, if especially during the lead up to Mission 4.
My brothers control the voting block for my family. I'm very much aware.
Yeah, this game, I really like this game, but it does have some problems, and the morality, the way they handle morality is one of them. It's kind of hilariously broken.
High Overseer Campbell against the odds. I knew you were our man, Corvo. With Campbell gone, we've hurt the Lord Regent immeasurably. And with Martin back, we'll have the finest strategist alive.
The Lord Regent must be shitting himself.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Bioshock when you think of moral choice systems, where
Campbell's journal, let's not forget.
Yahtzee, love him or hate him, and I tend to lean towards hatred at this point. He described it best where it's like you can be either Mother Teresa or a baby eater.
Nothing if we can't place the
And there's
rightful heir
really
on
no
the
in
throne.
between.
We must act fast. No doubt the Lord Regent is holding Emily.
And it's kind of the same with this
waiting to
game.
reveal him, to step out as the hero and further cement his regency.
If he doesn't bring the young lady forth soon, there will be infighting among the nobles as to who should succeed the Empress.
Yes, time is against us. But now you should take a well-earned rest, Corvo. We will decipher the contents of the High Overseer's journal and share them with you later.
Yeah, I guess we'll go right to bed. I have no reason to hang out here. And this second mission is another one of the ones that they talked about a lot during press interviews and E3 coverage of this game. It's the one where you kill the Pendleton brothers, or in our case, probably not kill. Remember, actually they talked about this in design, how in the original script of this game, you actually weren't allowed to have non-lethal options for the targets. You were supposed to kill them because you were an assassin. And they realized only like halfway through development that it would be fun if you didn't have to kill them. So a lot of what people really like about this game ended up being just a byproduct of last-minute design choices, which I find incredibly fascinating. So there was supposed to be no moralism at all. You were supposed to just be an assassin, just flat out. Just you were a killer of men.
You're lucky.
And then they totally changed that when they found that players were trying their best to avoid killing people. And that's why the non-lethal options of this game are so kind of bare minimum, because they were, for the most part, last-minute design choices that you were not supposed to be able to even have in the original script of this game. It's so weird how like a lot of the best parts of this game are completely last-minute adds. And to be fair to Arcane, they doubled down a lot on that in Dishonored 2 and in the DLC for this game, in a way that was really appreciated.
I know the Golden Cat, not as a patron, mind you. I designed some specialized devices.
Don't care. Where are the two fuckers I had to talk to? Where are you?
I'm sorry, I only thought... Never mind.
Oh right, I think I remember. They're on the front lawn. There we are.
Hello, Corvo. I expect Martin will be joining us shortly. I hate to start your day with such a strange matter, but the servants heard something last night, moving through the storm drains beneath the building. Most likely a weeper, the poor bastard. There's no hope for them once the plague gets that far along. Nothing more than a shuffling corpse full of sickness and insects, if you ask me. I'd appreciate you investigating, just to be sure it's not a nosy guardsman that's getting too close. Here's a key to the hatches. I sent a servant down there, but they'd die of fear on the spot, I'm afraid. Maybe Piero can concoct some sort of sleep poison for your crossbow if you want to go that route.
So the reason they bring up sleep poison is because, again, in terms of morality, the Weepers are people who are so far gone that they don't even have higher brain functions. They're just essentially zombies. But in terms of the chaos system, they still count if you kill them as a murder. So they still contribute to your chaos overall. Which, the way they explain chaos is by killing people, you create new vectors of infection for the disease. But the Weepers are already super infected. So it makes no sense for them to be considered kills in terms of spreading the infection. It's also implied that the ruin here contributed to them getting infected as hard as they were. So it's just another one of those weird quirks of the morality system here where it doesn't really make sense if you try to think about it too much. You just kind of have to go with it. Or it just kind of falls apart. And again, I remind you, I really like this game. You just gotta acknowledge the faults of even games you like. I might record this. I might put this on a VOD later. So this is actually a good conversation to have, even if it's just you and me right now. 05. That was really the big problem with Dishonored. Was just so many of the little things, with all of it being kind of a
I thought I heard a weeper in there earlier.
last ditch or
Probably the
slapdash,
bravest man I've ever met.
last minute
Overseer
choices.
Martin has arrived. He's with Admiral Havelock now. They want to talk to you.
I'd be able to actually afford level 2 agility now, which just increases your overall movement speed. Do I go for possession or bend? I'm gonna go for possession next. I'm actually gonna hold on to this ruin. I'm gonna actually stop the stream in half an hour. If there's no audience, I might want to end early before I even start the next mission. But
Corvo, I trust you remember Martin, an overseer before and perhaps again someday soon.
I owe you thanks for my rescue.
Indeed, you've given us a glimmer of hope, Corvo, because we've gotten what we wanted from Campbell's journey. You've done it. We know where Emily
this
Caldwood is being
voice
held.
performance is so
The
flat.
Golden Cat,
It's so flat.
A bathhouse for aristocrats. Little better than a cursed brothel.
But there's an unfortunate twist. It appears that Pendleton's own kinsmen stand in our way. The twins, Morgan and Custis. Not only are they controlling Emily, but they have the controlling parliamentary votes we so desperately need.
Yes, the Pendletons have to die. But most importantly, Emily must be brought here safely so we can protect her until the Lord Regent and his entourage have been dealt with. Pendleton's waiting for you on the dock. He's asked to brief you personally. I think it's best.
Alright.
A moment, if I may.
I'm actually probably gonna end this stream after we get the
Corvo.
briefing, and we're just gonna go
I've asked
like
to speak
whenever
to you
we
myself.
we do this again.
You see, I'm sending you to kill
we're just
my
gonna
old
start right
brothers,
with the third
Morgan
mission.
and Custis. They're horrible men. It's true, as you may have heard, cruel beyond words. Further, my brothers are close allies to the Lord Regent, and as long as they are in Parliament, we cannot gather the votes we'll need to stop the Lord Regent from further consolidating his power.
I wish instead of telling
These
you
days,
your
they're best
reasons
known
for killing them, they
exploiting
would
their
just
favor
show
with them
you.
to cheat others out of their wealth.
Ay,
Let's
ay,
just
ay.
say, not every family evicted in quarantine for having the plague actually has the plague. I warned my brothers in every way I could. I really did. But they never did listen to me. They'll be at the Golden Cat tonight at their usual revels. They'll be protected by the City Watch, so it'll be dangerous. Now go. Please do it before I change my mind.
You see, even if it's a little thing, at least he starts drinking when he realizes he has to kill his brothers. So you get a sense that at least he feels at least somewhat bad. But they don't do that very often. They don't do those kinds of subtle things. Even if they don't do, and even when they do it, they don't do it particularly well. We're gonna actually end the stream now. I'm gonna save our game, and when we come back, we'll have the objectives of killing the Pendleton brothers or not, and rescuing Emily from the Golden Cats, and we'll just resume from here the next time we pick up. So this is the first part of our Dishonored stream. I am Brendan Carey, and thank you guys for joining me. It's been a pleasure. So take care, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.